Good day to you. I am LionHeartBlue and welcome to another episode in my logic learning series where I am building an AI car. I would like to thank you all very much for your comments you left on the previous video. Give me a couple of suggestions. I will show you what I have done now. I have coloured some of the blocks so I can see what blocks belong to what. So as you can see here, we've got our left motor, which is purple, and our right motor, which is blue, and the logic gates that relate to those are now coloured accordingly. We've got our button, which is green, and the logic gate that is linked to the button, which is also green. I have added some angled, well, they don't look angled because I haven't got I've got it on the left, but right, so I've got these front sensors now which are angled outwards, and they will look at anything that's not black and adjust the car accordingly. I'll demonstrate that in a minute on this wonky road over here. I'll show you how well that works. And the final thing is I have used one of Germanite's tutorials on how to change the node graphics. So when you get your connection tool out, you can see now that instead of having all the blobs just filling the space up, I've got like halos or rings, whatever you want to call them. I'm not going to show you how that's done. If you want to find out, I will link to Germanite's video at the top. It's a really quick, really well explained solution to this, so go and check that out. I'm playing around with it at the moment. This seems okay, but I think another suggestion Germanite made was to have little small blobs instead, because the circles still sort of take up a fair amount of, the rings take up a fair amount of space. Let's get on with this. I'll move this over here, turn it round, plop it down there, and now if I turn this car on, you should now see how it manages to stay on this road. Yeah, it adjusts itself pretty well. Yep, and it goes forward. And it stops because it's no longer seeing black road and it won't fall off. So I think I'm pretty pleased with how this is working. I'm super excited about this, and I can't stop playing with it. Seems to work incredibly well. I've surprised myself. So basically this is using exactly the same logic that I had last week. The only difference is I've used these angled blocks here, and it seems to work quite well. So I've also increased the speed of the motor slightly. I found that if they're too fast, it doesn't stop here, because some of the sensors see the white before the others, and it's just too quick. So I think I've got it at the fastest it can be. And now these ones are in the front. It's a little bit janky when it gets to the end there, but let's just give it a little go. It should stop at the end, and then what I'm going to hopefully do in this episode is, let me just see if it stops first. Yeah, so it still stops. It seems to be okay. So what we're hoping to do in this episode is I'm going to get a timer attached, so it will stop here for about, I don't know, let's say 3 seconds, and then kick off again and turn right and go along this path here. I might need to add more road on. The issue I'm going to have is when these sensors spot these white marks in the middle of this road. And the reason that's going to be a problem is because this sensor on the left and the sensor on the right are going to attempt to turn left or right to try and adjust it based on this here. Now I don't know if that makes sense, but what the sensor's doing, it's basically travelling forwards all the time. It's looking at black road. If it sees anything but black road, it will stop those the opposite wheels from turning. So let's say the left sensor sees the white block here, it will stop the right wheels from turning, so the left ones keep moving and the car turns this way. Then it comes here, and then the right sensor sees no road, so no black road, as you can see the mud here. So it stops those wheels and it will turn this way. So the first thing I'm going to do, get a timer to on here, so that when it stops, the timer will kick the car off moving again after about 3 seconds. So I'll come back when I've got that timer on. I'll see you in a bit. Okay, so it's far from perfect, but as you can see, I've changed the nodes because I was getting confused to little blobs. I think it's a little bit easier to see. I've added 2 more logic gates here. Let me maybe let's change to something else. So actually, there we go. So I've added this one and this one. They're both OR gates. So now I can say if this is on, or this timer, or rather, and this timer is has sent its has completed its ticks, it will turn these on. You'll see what I mean when I go. So these are all on. We stop, timer starts, and then when that sends its tick, it kicks the road off again, the car off again. What I want to do, a suggestion was to randomize whether it turns left or right. I think that's a great idea, but for the purpose of this episode, I'm just going to try and get it to turn right. And how I do that, I don't know. Okay, so welcome back. I did say that I wanted this to turn right, but in my misunderstanding of logic, etc., it seems to be turning left and essentially doing what I want it to do. I don't know if it's just pure luck or I just got my left and my right mixed up. I mean my left and my right logic gates mixed up. But let's see if it does it again. Let me just turn it on. So it should stop here. That timer goes, and then it should kick off again, and it turns right, left even. And then, it doesn't straighten up. It did straighten up earlier, quite perfectly, but we're now going to drive on the wrong side of the road. So, we're not quite there, but let me just try that again. No. Oh well. But we're halfway there. Actually, just to explain what I've done. So this timer gets activated when the 4 sensors in the front spot this white line, and then after 3 seconds it activates the left motor engine, which I thought would turn it right, but as I've set these to XOR gates, it seems to do the opposite, because these now will only work if, so in fact, if I change that to that side and got rid of this one, it would probably turn right, but I don't think it would do any more better, or won't work at all. Any more better, is that proper English? Right, so that stops. Yeah, see, it's kicking that off. But again, we're driving on the wrong side of the road. So that's my challenge at the moment. So we're nearly there, although I'm not entirely sure if I understand how I've done it. And I'll demonstrate it, and then I'll try and explain it. But it probably, like earlier, is not going to work, is it? So we come here, it stops, it kicks off that timer. That timer kicks off the turning, and then we kind of, it's a bit janky, but it worked better last time. Helps if I pick it up. So what I'm trying to do is let me get the connect tool. So when those 4 sensors come on, as you know, it kicks off that timer, and now it's kicking off a second time. So that timer waits. I don't really think I need that one, but anyway. And then when that timer finishes, it kicks off the right motors, or turns them off. No, it must kick them off. But this one will turn them back on again after 1.5 seconds. I don't know if you can see that from... Oh, that's not going to work very well. Yeah, see, so at that time it worked alright. Not brilliant, but it's getting there. So I think for now I'll leave this as it is, and I'll await your suggestions on a better way of doing that, or if you are able to explain what I've done here better than I can. The idea was that this would turn off these wheels, so that the system would turn right, and it would turn them off for a certain amount of time and then back on again, so you go straight. And I was going to adjust the timer to perfect that. I mean, like I say, it seems to work. It's a little bit janky. Let's give it one last try. So thank you for watching. Hope you like this. I really look forward to your comments on how to improve this. Yeah, it seems okay. Hit that thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you in the next episode. Take care.